Hi, I'm Michael Popa, Executive Director of Mainstream Coalition, and welcome to KS Ledge Quick Take, an insider's look under the dome with your elected officials in Topeka. Today, we'll hear from State Representative Jo Ella Hoye, House District 17. Representative Hoye, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me. It's great to pop in and talk to folks who I know are engaged in what's going on here in the legislature. I'm Jo Ella Hoye. I live in Lenexa, and District 17 covers parts of Lenexa, Shawnee, and Lake Quivira. So if you're from those areas, pay extra attention because I'm the one you want to let know how you're feeling about things.
You are the one to know in those areas. Excellent. Well, we're glad that you are here with us today. So what is your KS Ledge Quick Take?
Well, I think this session has been pretty wild. And as a freshman legislature, the freshman members of the legislature, there's always a little bit of a learning curve, but we've all really jumped in and hit the ground running due to the pace of this session. So I do think my quick take is that we're getting a lot done, moving through things pretty quickly. And the last 2 weeks with turnaround approaching have been really busy in committees. Just mentioned my committees. I'm in Fed and State Affairs, Children and Seniors, and K through 12 education budget. So we had big hearings from proponents and opponents of medical marijuana, which has been really fascinating to hear that and be a part of it. And I think we're getting started working on something here in Kansas. And then last night in K through 12 education budget, we heard we end up working some of the all of the bills that we had done this session into one big sub bill that also includes the K through 12 education budget. So this bill extends public taxpayer dollars to private schools with no strings attached, and it also has our K through 12 education budget in there with some enhancements, and also does some damage to schools that may still need to do some remote learning next year. So I think if you're focused on what's happening with public schools, that's something you really want to pay attention to, because unfortunately it does have some really good, important stuff in there, stuff we need. But I did vote against it in committee because as it is too damaging to our public schools.
What's the next step then for that proposed legislation?
So that legislation got out of the K through 12 budget committee. So if it's going to move anywhere, it's got to go to the House floor next. Former chapter leader for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, I am championing some work that has been really important to survivors in Kansas, which is a domestic violence bill. It's an enforcement mechanism for the domestic violence bill that was passed in 2018. So when you hear things said like, let's enforce the laws already on the books, that's exactly what this bill does. It makes it so that judges are required upon conviction of domestic violence or domestic battery, and that would be domestic violence misdemeanors, or upon issuance of a I'm losing it here, a restraining order, then the judge would also have to issue an order for them to relinquish any guns that they may already have, because upon those convictions in Kansas, they're prohibited from purchasing or possessing firearms. So this says, hey, we're going to enforce this and make sure that you're not in possession of guns. I think that definitely paying attention to what's going on with the education budget. I know we're going to be after turnaround getting things coming over from the Senate, so I'm not completely up to speed on everything that's been going on over there. I've been very laser focused on my committee work and the House, because we've been moving through these bills really quickly. I really hope, and I know that folks who follow this, our Medicaid expansion is really important to them and to Kansans, especially during this time when we're going to be finally working toward hoping to get on the other side of this pandemic. And we need to make sure that all Kansans have access to healthcare. So if that issue is important to you, please reach out and let your lawmakers know that, because in order to keep moving on it, they need to hear from Kansans. And the best way to get a hold of me is to call my office at 785-296-7331. And my email is joella.hoye@house.ks.gov. I have an amazing assistant who definitely helps keep me on track. I'm trying to spend, after this, I'm going to do some more constituent work. I'm trying to reserve Friday afternoons for times to follow up on things that I haven't been able to get through, what I'm hearing from all of you. So that's the best.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today, and thank you very much for your service in Topeka and to your constituents.
I appreciate it, and everybody hang in there. I know that it is just times are tough on everybody, and it's been. I'm just honored to be here working on behalf of my constituents here in Topeka and on behalf of all Kansans. It really is an honor, but definitely walking through the building in a mask and being a part of the legislature during a pandemic is it's really an incredible thing. And I know folks are struggling with unemployment and concerned about getting vaccines, and I'm maintaining hope that we're getting so close to being able to get through all of that rapidly. So please hang in there.
We definitely will. Thanks for giving us a little bit of hope, or something to hope for. And thanks to everyone for watching. If you'd like more information on how to get more involved in Kansas politics, please visit mainstreamcoalition.org. While you're there, consider joining as a member and enjoy some exclusive benefits like members-only events, a deeper dive into policy updates and the legislative process, and more. Thanks again for tuning in, and be sure to visit our Facebook page to view other Kansas legislature quick takes. Until then, thanks.